Okay, today we are playing a game on King's Row. We are in the Gold SR range, and we will be playing about half the game as Torbjorn and about half the game as Bastion. We are also on the console today, so consider yourself forewarned. And dude, don't worry about the team comp, it's not that. You gotta learn to just, go with the flow with things, man. Yes, I was procrastinating, leave me alone. So anyway, we've got to attack King's Row first. And fortunately, we don't actually end up having to do terribly much to capture this checkpoint, because as you can see, McCree is currently going fucking Hanzo. And in the near future, right around now, Mercy's going to be going fucking Hanzo. So, fortunately, we already didn't have to do much to capture this checkpoint. Hanzo's kind of already done all the heavy lifting. Now we get to swoop in and sweep up the glory right at the end here. Or at least we do get to sweep up the glory until dirty cheating scumbag McCree shows up with his crowd control and stops us. Very unsportsmanlike of him, isn't it? We do see him coming, way in advance of this, because we see him, he's coming. We just saw him through the doorway right there. He's coming. Oh, he's rapidly approaching, and now he's here. So we could see this was coming ahead of time, and have backed up, because we were being very aggro at the time, and we got both the tanks, so, that's a fair reason to go aggro, and be real, us dying to McCree there hardly makes much difference in the grand scheme of things, because McCree was going to have to be, play like Jesus himself at the keyboard if he was going to win that point back for his team, which he didn't, so it's all fine. So, now we're just going to sit over here and, play a bit of long-range Torbjorn, which is always very fun, because sometimes you're rewarded with a kill that you didn't really deserve, which is always very nice. We get to play mini bunker comp now, because we've got the payload, so we get to put the shield down and hope that their team doesn't figure out how to break the shield. Reinhardt not as good for a bunker comp as Orisa is, because Orisa's got mad shield uptime compared to Reinhardt. So she tends to be better with the bunker comps than Reinhardt. Here's dirty cheating scumbag McCree around with his crowd control again, but this time he gets what he deserves. So things are kind of a mess right now. I don't want to use Molten Core right now, because, the kill feed's kind of a fucking mess, and it's very difficult to discern at a glance who's exactly winning. But just, looking at this right now, I'm like, that Reinhardt's fucking dead. And I look at our health and I'm like, we're not looking good right now. So, reason enough for me to not want to use Molten Core. And we end up getting Zenyatta. It's not great Molten Core, because, it made life difficult for Mercy, because she was in the bar. And it managed to get Zenyatta, so that's good. But we mostly just dispersed our load on, the street right next to the wall, which is not as inconvenient of a layout as it could be if we just sort of, spread it out a little bit more across the street. So Hanzo is now, fucking Hanzo, right? But he's got the Mercy over there, so he gets to get back up again. This is much too aggro, because we know that the enemy team has a McCree, and no, they don't have a Bridget. I thought they had I don't think they have a Bridget. I don't know why I've got it in my head that they've got a Bridget over there. I don't think we've seen a Bridget at any point, but I was like, they've got McCree and Bridget. They got McCree, and McCree's tried to slap us a few times now, so running up that aggressively is very scary. And there's a Zen as well, so stunned Discord Orb, dead dwarf. There's Zenyatta's used Transcendence right there. Good news for us, by all accounts, because Trance can make it hard to get value out of Molten Core. Things are starting to go kind of badly, though. We're kind of stuck over here because the dragon cuts us off across the street, so we can't really reconvene with our team very easily. And we end up dying. Very tragic. They used a few ultimates, so that's kind of the video game, unfortunately. So, Moira's fucking dead, so Moira's saying that she got even though his barrier was up, so I don't know. I don't know how true that is. We'll never know, because it was happening in Narnia at the time compared to us. So Ryan's managed to kill their Hanzo, and Mercy can't come out to res this guy. He died way too far up. We do almost have Molten Core. Where did we put our turret? Right there? Isn't that... It's a little blocked by the turret. It would be better more where we are right now, because it's It's blocked by the target, I think I said. It's blocked by the payload, so it would be a little bit better for, like, further to the side, basically. But it's, as we can see, it's not really mattering too much right now. Oh, fuck, I thought we might get away with it for a second there. Ryan definitely shouldn't have done this. I was looking at him, like, he had some big dreams, and, like, this is the look of a man who is trying to figure out the Earth Shatter angle right now. He's just over there, without his shield up, like, going back and forth in the street, like... he's got a question mark over his head, like, what do I do with this one? How do I get the play of the game? And this is what he decided to go with. Arzen decided to waste Transcendence, presumably just to make Reinhardt feel better about the Earth Shatter that he used, you know? Yeah, it feels like that when you get split spawn, right? Oh, fuck. Oh, I gotta walk all the way across now. God damn. So, fucking short legs, gotta run all the way across fucking London. Torbjorn should move slower than everyone else, shouldn't he? He's so much shorter than everyone else, he really should move slower. This is still something I'm very upset about, that every hero has the same movement speed, with the exception of Genji and Tracer, who apparently are 10% faster than everybody else. But everybody else has the same movement speed. And, like, that's fucked up. Like, that's just fucked up that Reinhardt, or Roadhog rather, moves as fast as Moira, right? Moira's even doing the anime run, right? Like, she should move like 5% faster than everybody else, you know? It's just fucked up that, like, Roadhog and Torbjorn are as fast as everyone else. They should be slower by all reasonable accounts, but, you know, I guess that's game balance for you. I don't know why I thought about this. Can you imagine how bad this game would be if it had fall damage? That's just what immediately came to mind right there for some reason. I was like, imagine if they had fall damage in this game. This game would be so much worse. Thank God they decided not to go with that one, huh? And they did apparently have fall damage at some point during there, but they figured they were... it was wise to not include it because it made life awkward in general for people like Farah, you know, like... coming down from the sky, but you've got to do the little boost right before you land. It's just awkward, apparently. Remember they said that as, like, a specific reason for it, but... God, this game would be so much more awkward. Winston would presumably be pretty awkward as well, right? So we do decide to just get into a scuffle with McCree right here, and we're making it pretty easy for him, because just look at the path we take, right? So we go... straight line right at McCree. Oh fuck, straight line backwards from McCree with a little bit of a gentle turn towards the end. Like, Roadhog, Jesus Christ. Torbjorn's already a pretty easy guy to hit, and his crit box is quite large and easy to hit compared to most people. We don't need to make it any easier for people by going in a straight line. You know, we gotta try and put some moves on them, give them a little bit of zig and zag. Give him one of the 5Ds, you know, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. So we do have Molten Core built up now. Pretty good point for Molten Core because it's a pretty confined location, so you can kind of fuck people up in the hallway if they start overextending, or your team gets a good engage from like an Earth Shatter or something. So that felt like it was going on for like 12 years up there with the D.Va. Apparently Deadeye was happening somewhere, and that's why we were hiding from it. I didn't hear it, but, you know, whatever. So we do end up chucking some of this Molten Core into D.Va. We can see that Defense Matrix is going across us right now, so some of it gets eaten. And we also don't distribute it over a very wide area. We pretty much, like, we've really got control of, like, this little quadrant right here. But that's kind of it. You know? And we can do better than that. We can, like, do this with just, like, a couple of bits of it, and then we can distribute something like over here, some here, chuck a little bit back there to make life difficult for the people back there, you know? Rather than just going, like, all in like, that 10-foot space. It does, like, draw a line in the sand, no doubt, and sometimes that's fine, just, like, making it so they can't really, like, walk into you. But... Not a great coverage on the Molten Core, and with all, like, area denial ultimates, right? We're looking to make it as inconvenient for the enemy team as possible. So we're basically looking for the widest possible area coverage. So, like, if you're, like, playing, like, May, you really don't want Blizzard to end up, like, landing, like, right next to the wall, right? Because then you end up getting, like, that kind of coverage. Whereas if you chuck it in the middle, you get, like, that kind of coverage, right? Which is just much bigger, much scarier, much more inconvenient for the enemy team. Anyway, so, we're waiting for our team right now. Zenyatta's like fucking Hanzo. Though what was he expecting picking Zenyatta, right? It's fucking floating box of a hitbox, just like asking to get killed. I thought we were poking our face out with like 50 health right there, which is why I went back, but no, we took the damage. Like, we were healthier than that when we poked our face out. So, I'm not sure what we did with our turret. I'm not going to go back to agonize over that one. We're now going to put it here. I don't really want to put it here, though, because it looks like we might push around this corner in the near future. We also could just, like, get up there and start fighting, and indeed we are starting to push around the corner. They lost 2 people, so it looks like we're going to start pushing up at that point. So I'd rather just, like, go up, fight with them, put the turret over here once we start pushing around the corner, because that's the way it looked like the fight was going by that point anyway. Not too crazy about putting the turret right there, because it's got fairly limited coverage. It's just like if they come out of there, but even if they come out of there, it's going to get like line of sight blocked by the payload for the next little while as well. So I'd rather put it like a little bit further up, basically so I can like see both doorways that they're coming out of. Because usually the team, like, when they're in, like, this phase of King's Row, like, some people go left, some people go right. So if, like, one team people start going left, and, like, they just run out in front of the turret, like McCree does over there, they'll be very sad about that. Just wider area coverage, basically, because then we can see both doorways rather than the one. Again, we could be distributing this a little bit more. Presumably, we're trying to get it on, like, the people who are stunned at the moment over there, but, like, we could just, like, chuck some over there and then just start distributing it, right? Because we got, like, this line area over here covered up. But right now, they've still got, like, this whole side of the payload they can stand on completely safe from the molten core. So we could chuck it more around the general area of the payload to make more area denial, basically. But also, I don't want to use Molten Core right now in general, because we're missing like half our team at this point, and they've got a huge spawn advantage over us, so we're pretty unlikely to win the fight. And now we're doubling down as well by sprinting directly into the enemy team. And it didn't work out, so I don't want to use Molten Core there regardless, but we could have again gotten more area coverage over that one. So we're actually changing the Junkrat. I don't remember playing Junkrat, so we obviously aren't Junkrat for very long, or I just have a very, very poor memory. We're definitely playing it's definitely Bastion, right? It's definitely Bastion. That's definitely Bastion. Yes, 100%. Thank God I'm not insane. A very delightful pink Bastion as well. How nice. So it's not going well. It could be going better. There's room for improvement in this situation. But yeah, whatever. I lost the round. But we got it most of the way there. That's fine, you know. So now, Bastion phase of the game. I've just pushed like forward like 3 times, but it just felt like it didn't move for a little while in there. Alright, so we're playing Bastion, sitting down. Here we go. Not great coverage from Reinhardt right here. He knows where we are, so this is, maybe he thinks we can't shoot through the shields. He's trying to give us like a little peek hole or something right there. Who knows? Either way, not really great. This is a little scary to do because now we're more out in the open than we were previously, and we saw Reinhardt was about to take his shield down to recover, so going out more into the open when Ryan's about to take his shield down is pretty scary to do as Bastion, because if you're out in the open for too long by yourself, you can get clapped pretty easy. Ryan should be letting his shield regenerate right now. Like, he has got like 200 health on this barrier. That is like no health on the barrier. So this is happening, but I was going to say, Ashe is still over there on the left side, so we've got to be careful of that. Because Ash will kill us fairly quickly if she can get a shot in on our power core. We've almost got a configuration tank built up because, you know, we are playing Bastion. And Moira presumably got a little stuck on the corner right there. I don't really want to use configuration tank right now because, again, we've pretty much already won the fight by that point. And now we're rolling around in tank form like, shit, what do I do with all this power? And we couldn't find anything to do with all that power, so I didn't want to use it right there, but we used it there, so now we gotta start building configuration tank up again. Please don't sit down here. Oh no, this is so exposed. So here's what you gotta bear in mind with where you're gonna sit down as Bastion, right? Tragically, right, and this is the thing we have to bear in mind, tragically, Reinhardt's shield and Orissa's shield don't have infinite health. There are going to be times when no shield is up, especially with Reinhardt. Reinhardt's going to have to take time to go out of the way and let his shield regenerate. And when that's happening, you really don't want to be out in the open, because he's going to take his shield down fairly suddenly a lot of the time, and then you're just going to be out in the open. So we want to still be near something that we can use as cover, which in this instance is the wall with the door right over there, you know, on the hotel. Rather than, like, right here. And, oh god, bad things start happening. Someone shot us from behind as well. So, but that's just like an exposed location. This is better, but still fairly exposed. The cover we're near right now is the phone box next to us, which is not great cover, but better than previously where we had the black cab, which, by the way, this black cab always upsets me because I'm from England, and let me tell you that your average black cab is like 20 fucking times the size of this. You can fit like 9 people in the back of a black cab. More than that, depending on... You can fit more than that in there, but it depends on if the cab driver is like willing to play a little bit fast and loose with the rules, right? But like that cab, you could fit like 3 people in. It's ridiculous. It's tiny. Black cabs are fucking colossal. It's ridiculous. So that always upsets me. So things are starting to fall apart relatively quickly. Don't want to do this without Reinhardt here. Don't want to poke my face out like that. Looks like we were already going to lose the point because we lost 2 people, and Mercy's yelling at Moira to get on point right now, which is 1,000% the wrong choice, because we've 100% lost that checkpoint, and people are just going to like go up there to die for it anyway. Oh god, here they go still. Moira's managed to sip a couple people to death. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, it's working out a little bit, I guess. Oh, Jesus Christ, Ash. She's just, like, right next to us, coach gunning us in the back. Oh, alright, we got her. So, against all odds, remember how I said it was 1,000% gonna be gone? That's me shown, isn't it? This was still the incorrect play to make because they had to fuck up, like, really badly for them to actually lose that point, given the way things were going. And hey, Roadhog's mad about that one. But they did fuck up, so we got to hold on to the point. But any play that revolves around the enemy team making a bad play is itself a bad play. So it is still definitely the wrong choice to make. And now we're gonna lose the point anyway. Hooray. As it should be, because we didn't deserve to hold it for as long as we did, but we lost it like 10 seconds later, so it all works out in the end. Thank God, justice is served. So you can see we don't play like multiple rounds on this map, so, you know, there's still feasibly time for us to win or lose. It's still close either way. Someone was saying to push in. What the fuck are you doing, my man? With, like, such a decisive play. Like, Junkrat peeks his face out, and he says to himself, I'm gonna get that Bastion. In his mind, he's like, this Bastion is going fucking down, dude. And he just runs straight into the Bastion. Absolutely incredible what some people will do, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. So we do have configuration tank. I can see what our plan is right now. I'm surprised we didn't just immediately use configuration tank. That's what I would have done. I would have been like, I'm gonna get these guys. But we decided to be a bit more conservative than that, which is funny given how we used configuration tank earlier in the round. But Junkrat was using Riptire out in the open. Reinhardt's mad right now. Roadhog, don't do that. Oh, God. Hanzo, fucking relax, dude. See, like, one man in the fucking bookstore and goes, there's not gonna be one man in there in a second, though, is there? A little bit optimistic right there, but, you know. So, anyway, we've still got Configuration Tank. What a fucking... You know, what a fucking... So, we look like we're up to no good right now. We're up to no good right now, and given what they've shown us so far, frankly, I think we have a reasonable expectation that we can get away with that, you know? And hey, we did. Oh, here comes Roadhog. We definitely could have just buckled down into turret form in the middle of the bar and started, like, mowing into him rather than staying in recon form, but, Roadhog was fucking dead. We are, like, being too aggro right now, because we are, like, recon form running after this Ashe, like, who is about to get behind, like, 3 different corners. Like, no. That's way too aggro. We got away with it anyway, so, you know, but we definitely shouldn't have done that. And we're being quite ballsy right now as well, because Bob just shot by us, and we're electing to stay out here. Our team's going to be dealing with Bob behind us at that point in time, so we're going to be up there mostly just dealing with it by ourselves. And, you know, we're in Configuration Tank, so we feel like we can get away with it, but we couldn't. So we were being quite ballsy then as well. We could have just backed out at that point. We could have even just, like, rocket jumped up onto the high ground behind and then stuck out up there instead and been in a slightly safer position than just in the street next to the payload. So that didn't go too well. Fight's still happening back here. It's not going particularly well. We're gonna elect to give it the good old college try. We're gonna buckle down in the street and pray. Oh God, oh no, oh Jesus Christ. They've forgotten about us, apparently. Excellent news. Oh, like, guys. I'm mad. I'm mad that we got away with that as much as we did. And we didn't get away with it, right? We still died, but, like, I'm mad we got away with as much as we got away with. Because they just, like, forgot we were there. Even though they just saw us, they've got no object permanence. Which is incredible. Isn't that just incredible? How's that timer going? We could still win and we can still lose. How about that? Now's the time to bet. Do we hold him here, or do we lose him? Lucio did just kill himself, and Reaper spinning in front of us. So, you know, do with that information what you will when gambling on that. Oh, there Reinhardt's sad again. He's decided to double down, but he at least got the Hanzo, so good for him. Oh God, what a game it's been. So we're going to use Configuration Tank right fucking now, apparently. Junkrat gave us a bit of a help right there, to be honest, but that was a very ballsy maneuver we went for, and we did elect to keep trying to go in as well. That was about to be a real mangled sentence. And now we've entered the Mei segment of the game, which, as we can see, is going to be extremely long. I'm fine with playing Mei here because, I mean, Mei upsets people a lot, right? When you play against them as Mei, like, Mei has this effect of just, like, tilting the enemy team, and Mei herself is fine. I think Mei is quite good right now, actually, also. So we were quite greedy right there. We tried to get away with not using Ice Block when we should have just used Ice Block, really. And we did end up dying. It's alright, Reinhardt just wiped their team, so good job, Reinhardt. I do advocate for playing Mei right now, though. Mei is very good at, like, tilting the enemy team, which is always very nice, and she's quite good. She's even quite good against bunker comps, because you can wall the Bastion over the wall, or over the shield, rather, and then, like, fuck him. If you got a Roadhog on your team, like, he's fucking dead, right? But if nothing else, he's, like, up and gotta move at that point. And then you throw the Blizzard into the bunker, and they've all got to move or get frozen. Bastion, 9 times out of 10, gets frozen because, like, you chuck it, like, on him. He has to get out of turret form and move. Like, you almost always freeze the Bastion, at least, with Blizzard. So, there you go. We won the game in the end. Thank goodness. So, what stood out the most there? Fairly overly aggro as, like, Bastion of all people. Not positioning around cover as much as we could have done, especially on the first round, or first point on defense, where we're, like, kind of out in the open, which is very scary to do as Bastion. We still want to be near cover, because sooner or later the shield's going to get taken away from us, and we don't want to be out in the open when that one happens. And with Torbjorn not getting as much coverage as we could on Molten Core, basically. Molten Core being an extremely inconvenient ultimate for the enemy team. Like, one of the best, like, zoning and damaging ults in the game, so, like, really want to maximize the effectiveness with that, which basically just means distributing it over a wider area, because the more area it covers, the less options the enemy team has, and that's always good. You always want to try and take as many options away from the enemy team as possible, so it basically just amounts to getting as much coverage as possible as well. So there you go. So thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST till midnight EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you manage to make it all the way through the video, please subscribe. Please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and I hope you found the video helpful.